the tapping of the needle, and a slight twirling of the needle into the point. And that is reaching into the neurological system in such a way as to stimulate the points and relieve stress and unblock, according to the Chinese, the qi that has gotten blocked, that has caused the stress, the distress in the first place. Simple tap, twirling of the needle in place, and it also conveys a sense of almost a euphoric feeling. It confers this state where people feel very relaxed and very good. And this is another reason it has been so helpful in the treatment of both pain and stress.
Many stress management techniques work with what they call managing stress, rather than changing it, transforming it, and moving it on. What we have discovered in the Un system is that by using this conscious energy, this universal cosmic consciousness that we're working with, the stress levels are reduced, transformed, and allowed to make their own way and move out of the body, leaving the person open, clear, and incredibly calm. I'm going to demonstrate what a session of the Un system looks like. I've asked Wynn to sit in the chair, and just to relax, what I'm going to do is to place my hands in various positions over the different centers on her body. What I'm doing is just working with cosmic universal energy. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and we'll begin with the first position. This position is very good for shutting out external stimuli and for bringing the person more fully in touch with herself. It also is adding energy to the pituitary and pineal glands of this area. And you would stay on this position for 3 to 5 minutes. I'm not going to stay there that long now. Moving to the next position, which is the position over the ears. This also is still working with the pituitary and pineal glands. And it's adding energy to this area. Of course, it's wonderful for the ears and for any aspects of hearing. Position number 3 is working with the top of the head. Now, the crown of the head is a little bit further back than most people believe, and I'm working with that area where the spiral of hair comes up, a cowlick perhaps. That's the area of the crown chakra, or the top of the head. This is still working with these levels of the pituitary and the pineal gland. We then go to the jaw, and working with the area of the jaw, we are working with the throat center, the beginning of the throat center, and still working with the area of the head as well. Of course, this does also work with the teeth and clenching of the teeth. When someone is in particular stress, sometimes they clench, and this is a perfect way to help release that tension in your jaw. All of these positions can work very well for releasing stress in the head, headaches, stiff necks, muscle spasms, and clenching. The next position is one hand in the front and one hand in the back, similar to this. This is working directly on the pituitary and pineal glands and is very good for headache. And also, because my hand is in the back of her neck, working on neck pain and stress in the neck. And then moving to the throat itself, we're actually working with the thyroid, the parathyroid gland, and releasing tension in the throat. Sometimes people get really tense and they start to not be able to speak. This is a perfect way to release that. Remember, each of these positions would be kept for maybe 3 minutes. Then moving down to the front and the back of the body simultaneously, sit forward a little, Wynn, we're going to work with the heart center, the front and the back of the heart center. This works with the heart and the thymus gland, which is right above the heart and is an important gland for the immune system. It also works with the lungs and the chest, and sometimes when people get stressed they can't breathe. So this is a very good position for allowing the breath to flow more easily and releasing the tension in the chest. Sit forward again. The next position is the solar plexus, which is right here under the breastbone and in the back over the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are a very important mechanism for stress and for the immune system, and having them working in proper order is very important. We keep the right hand on the front and the left hand on the back. The next position, she's got her little pouch on here, and it's, we're going to go under that. And we're going to work on the area around the navel. We're also bringing the back hand down further as well. And the area around the navel is known as the hara, H-A-R-A, in Oriental philosophy. And that is the area that the Orientals believe that your power comes from. And so this is a very good place to work to release tension. Sometimes people hold an awful lot in their intestines and in their lower abdomen, and they find that they clench down there. And this is a very good way to release that. It's also good for the digestion. And then the next position would actually be the genitals, and of course we don't touch, but we keep our hands there over the area. We go from there to the knees, and we have the left hand on the left knee and the right hand on the right knee. Knees are our flexibility. It's how we step forward in life. And so it's always good to take the stress and strain out of the knees so that we can become more flexible. And finally, the feet. Normally this is done without shoes, and we usually put the fingers or the hand on the bottom of the foot so that we're working with the kidney point, the number 1 point, which is just on the ball of the foot, underneath between the ball of the foot and the toes. The feet are our foundation. It's how we step out in life, and it's always good to take the stress out of the feet as well. It helps us walk better, it helps us balance better, and it helps us take our next steps in life. On yourself, if you wanted to give yourself a little 20-minute relaxation break or even a 15-minute break, you might do the head positions and the front of the body positions and go as far as you can. And even if you keep your hands in those positions for maybe a minute, that would help. And you can do it any place. You can do it in your office, just take a few minutes, or in the bathroom, or wherever. And it's a tremendously helpful stress break.
Qigong is a body-mind-spirit practice using the natural healing energy. It is Chinese in origin and is based on 5,000 years of ancient Taoist tradition. Qigong developed as one of the oldest complete healing and personal development systems known to man. Literally translated, Qigong means energy cultivation. So you're working with the energy in your body and you're working with the energy of the surroundings, learning literally how to source it in and utilize it for calming, stress-reducing, healing purposes in the physical body. The first thing a person will notice when they practice Qigong is that they'll feel calm immediately. In a practice of Qigong, within the first lesson, they'll feel some energy. So it's a fairly quick practice. It's a potent practice, but it is also a calm practice. So it's not a punchy practice where you're going to feel like something knocked you over the head. It's calm but effective and powerful. During the practice of Qigong, there is a substantial increase in the EEG activity in the frontal lobe of the brain. So much so that it often becomes dominant over the occipital lobe, whereas the reverse is usually true. The frontal lobe is connected with higher motor activity, higher sensory function,